guys, and welcome to another Q&A on the floor with an echo. It's good. If you've never seen one of my Q&As before, the way that it works is I have questions in 3 different mugs. Today's theme is real weird mugs. I got Coffee Makes Me Poop, I've got my Minion mug, and I've got my mug that just says Mustache Scissors. It's good. It's a good lineup. Anyway, so this mug is going to be work questions, this mug is going to be personal questions, and this mug is going to be silly questions. And I'm going to go one at a time and take 3 out of each mug and answer them. Yay! First work question is from XNKNZX. Are you planning any collaborations soon? She also said that she really loved the Eevee song. I also really loved the Eevee song. In general, like collaborations, I love doing music collaborations. Those are probably the ones I have the most fun with. They just don't come up very often. Yeah, I would love to do way more music collaborations. I would love to just do more collaborations in general. Sometimes the big hiccup is just scheduling. Figuring out a time when both people are free to do it, you know? But in terms of collaborations that are planned and coming up, Jesse and I have talked about playing a couple of different games together. Sam and I, of course, have talked about playing games together, so yeah. First personal question from Kevin J 2010. Hanging out with Sam must make you love that British accent. Do you ever wish you had an accent? Well, yes. I mean, look. I have a very standard American accent, right? So it's not like I don't have an accent, we all have an accent, but there are definitely accents that I think are far more interesting sounding. I don't want to say glamorous or beautiful because I don't think I would necessarily want one of those accents. Like, the accents that I love listening to are like full-on New Jersey accents, love it. Russian accents, or Scottish accents. I love Scottish accents. Of course I love British accents, but you know, that's fulfilled with Sam. Sam's around all the time. I get to hear it all day long. But if I were to say that I want a certain accent to like come out of my mouth, I don't know what it would be, because imagining myself with an accent for the rest of my life, it's a standard American accent. First silly question from Max the Sax. Have you ever decided to dress up Sherlock and Watson to do an impromptu photo shoot? That's so funny that you mentioned that, because Maker Store came up to me and they were like, hey, how do you feel about doing a calendar? And I'm sure what they meant was like a calendar of me, but I said, I would love to do a calendar of my cats dressed up as Sherlock and Watson in all sorts of weird hijinks. And they were like, oh, okay. So look, if I can make that happen, if that could actually be a thing, it's gonna be a thing. But no, I don't ever just dress them up for lols. I don't really have things I could dress them up in, I don't think. From Dummy Dragon, would you do more videos on Monster Hunter? I love Monster Hunter so much. That game is so good. I'm so sad the number 4 I won't be able to play on my Wii U. What's up with that? What's going on? But yes, I want the return of Buttbag, Lady of Party, so bad. She's like my spirit animal. Actually, when Gildan approached me and they were like, hey, we want to sponsor some of your streams, it was between doing craft streams or doing just full-on Monster Hunter streams. But if it was going to be full-on Monster Hunter streams, I wanted to have a shirt that just said butt bag in giant letters. Next poisonal question from Caleb San. Did you like being in Germany? What did you like or dislike the most? You know, because we were at an event the whole time, the only thing that really made me feel like I was in Germany was the language, you know? Just knowing that if I left the apartment, not the apartment, the hotel, knowing that if I left the hotel, I would be the minority in terms of what I speak was interesting, and I like that feeling a lot. I've had that feeling a lot in my life, but I don't know. I don't know that I could say I liked or disliked anything about Cologne, because I didn't really see Cologne, you know? We walked outside of the hotel a few times in order to see Sipshin and Duncan, or to, you know, grab a beer, or just little things, but we didn't really see Cologne, you know. I always really love the stone streets in Europe, not just in Germany, but in Europe in general. The stone streets are so, we don't have them here, I guess. Like, we just don't have like streets that look like that, and those streets are all over Europe. So whenever I get to go, I'm like, oh, this is so nice. All these like nice uneven like stonework streets, so cool. But yeah, I'd like to go back for Gamescom next year and actually see it. Gamescom actually happens on my birthday next year. Whoa. Silly question. From The Young Wolf. If you could shapeshift into Jessie or TB for 24 hours, what would you do to mess with them? Well, I wouldn't be actually messing with them, right? I'd be messing with their lives. Actually, I could mess with them, because it's not that I'm possessing their bodies, it's that I'm shapeshifting into them, right? Oh man, I could shapeshift Jessie or TB for 24 hours. I thought the end of that was going to be which one would you shapeshift into? I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I mean, if I was shapeshifted into TB, I would do all sorts of cutesy dumb things. If I did that with Jessie, everybody'd be like, oh, Jessie. But if I'm TB, you know, it makes a difference. Jessie, I'd just hit on everyone I saw and see, you know, what came of it. And then be like, here's my address, here's my phone number. But give them like his actual address and phone number and then call him up later and be like, you're welcome. Final work question from Lizzie Poos. Which video series do you love making the most and why? I love doing Welcome to the Fandom and I love doing Swords and Stitches. Welcome to the Fandom is fun because I've realized after doing a couple of episodes that it doesn't matter what I talk about. You know, as long as it's something that I have an opinion on and I'm able to talk about it a lot, you guys will find it entertaining and you'll be there to like respond and reflect on it and have fun, you know? So the community aspect of that is so much fun for me. And also just knowing that there have been some episodes that have had so much editing and some episodes that have had less, but even the ones with a ton of editing, you guys have been like, whatever. So I can go really ham on that show, you know? And with Swords and Stitches just fulfills a lot of things in myself for just crafty work. Just being able to work with my hands and do stuff that way. It's been really, I don't know, it's therapeutic. That show is very therapeutic. Although, Umatani and I have sat, Aaron and I have sat and talked about ways that we can change the format a little bit so that it more meets in the middle between what the show used to be and what the show is now. Still doing big projects, but also doing like lots of little projects. Because that's been the biggest response, has been like, hey, can you guys do smaller stuff? Like easier stuff? And in that sense, I'm like, yeah, I mean, of course we can. So in the future, we plan on doing more of that. But yeah, if I had to say that, you know, one or two are my favorites, it would be Welcome to the Fandom and Swords and Stitches, both of which are kind of newer. So it's been fun. It's been fun like exploring and doing cool stuff that way. Last personal question from Nolapiste7. How often does Sam's height cause awkward situations? Sam's height doesn't really cause any awkward situations. For Sam, I'm sure there are plenty of things that he dislikes. You know, the fact that every time he walks into a house, he has to wonder whether or not he'll hit his head on something. But it gets brought up as often as it gets brought up for me. We get each other that way. We understand one another because half the time we're being asked how tall we are. And that question applies to both of us. So, no, it doesn't create any awkward situations. It's fine. Final silly question. Oh, they're all like squished to the bottom. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. From E102S. Which superpower? Super burps or super farts? Man, okay, so I feel like super farts would hurt a lot, but they would also smell super bad, right? So if you just wanted everyone to leave, you could super fart. Super burps would be kind of like having, you know, like sonic boom voice. You could just, I'd want that. I think that I'd want sonic burp. I think that would hurt less and be more effective in life. Anywho, that's my Q&A. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to submit a question, beginning of next week, we will put up a new Reddit thread for new questions from any of you. Reddit.com/r/press start to continue. And yes, I will eventually be in front of a screen again so that we can also add back in the fan art section. But you're all wonderful. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.